Yesterday, my wife told me we need a bookshelf. So instead of buying one, we're gonna make one. Let's go. All you're gonna need for this project is one piece of 3/4 inch maple plywood and one piece of 3/16 backer board. So we're gonna start by cutting 2 strips all the way down the length of the board at 12 inches. Be sure to slap on your PPE. Let's get to cutting. And I want to say thank you to everyone who watched last week's video an extra minute longer than normal. It really helped the video out and has become one of the most liked videos that I've put out. Now we're going to be taking these 2 pieces over to our table saw just to make double sure everything is square. Now I'm going to use my miter box saw for this, but you could also use your table saw or your circular saw. But we're going to be cutting some pieces of those strips. Here I cut 2 pieces at 29¼ inches and 3 pieces at 33 inches long. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 10,000 by the end of the summer. And please smash that like button and comment the word bookshelf to help us beat this algorithm. So over at the router table, we're going to make sure our straight cut bit is at 3/16 inch. And we're going to router out one side of our 29¼ inch pieces. So I made a slight mistake on the 33 inch pieces. We're going to have to take 3/16 off the edge of each one. Okay, so on both of our 29¼ inch pieces, you're going to go up from the bottom 2.5 inches and mark that line. And everything was going great and smooth until my air gun decided to blow a gasket. So a quick trip to Lowe's, I grabbed the Bosch brad nailer, and I will say it did not disappoint. Let's get back to it. Easy way I like to do this, take your speed square, line it up with the edge of that board, and then you have an easy line to follow for your nails. Now we're going to be taking this top piece here, lining that up flush with the top, nailing it together. Now we're going to want to know what the distance is between our top shelf and our bottom shelf, and that opening is going to be 25¼ inches. So if we come and measure from the bottom to 12¼ inches, mark that, then come from this side, mark 12¼ inches then. That's going to leave us with a perfect 3/4 inch gap for our plywood. Do that on both sides. We're going to pop this last piece in there just like so. And if you do happen to have an issue like this where your nail gun shot through, all I did here was take a little tiny screwdriver, bend that nail out where I can get a hold of it, and then I took my pliers, pulled it right out. Easy as that. Okay, so now that we got that done, we're going to take a measurement from this bottom shelf to the top, and that is going to be 26¾ inches, and then from the inside of our gaps on the 2 sides, and that is going to be 33¾ So we're going to cut that out of a piece of 3/16 backer board. and it fits like a glove. Now you would generally want to use paneling nails for this, but I don't have any here. I thought I did, but I want to use these 1.5" finishing nails for mine. Now, you can stop right here if you'd like. This would be a great bookshelf and it would last you a very long time. But I want to be a little bit more decorative than that. I'm going to put some 1x on the front and then put another piece of plywood on top. We're going to router that out. The 1-inch overhang, it's going to look very nice. So what we're going to do here is start with the sides first. We'll measure top to bottom, and that is going to be 29.25. You're going to do that twice for each side. Make double sure. Yep, 29.25. I'm going to cut all of these 1.5 inches wide. So once we get that in place, we're going to be measuring the top and the bottom. I'm going to leave the middle off. I would encourage you to fill in the middle, but my wife wants this to be inset a little further than the rest of it. So we'll do that. So let's get it done. So I'd like to pause real quick and show you a piece like this that is very curved. I'm going to move the camera and show you guys, but there's a way to manipulate the wood where it still comes out straight. So what you're going to do is make sure this is flush where you want it. It kind of curves in this way, and then towards the end it's over the line right here. You see that little lip. We have same thing here in the middle, but you're going to line up one end exactly where you want it. And then you're going to go up just a few inches, pull that wood in line where you want it, make sure it's flush, get another brad, and keep this process going all the way down the board until everything is nice and flush. And that is called manipulate the wood. For this last one here, measure up from the bottom of this to the edge. That's going to be it's right in the middle between 3/16 and 1/4 inch. I think it's closer to the 1/4 inch. Yep, 3 1/4. So we're going to cut that 3 1/4, and it's going to be 31.5 inches long. Then I put the small block behind the facial piece just to help support it. Now we're going to measure for the top of our bookshelf here. We're going to go 2 extra inches on each side and then 1 extra inch on the front. So the total measurement of this is 34.5. So we're going to extend this out to 36.5. And then we have 12 3/4, so we're going to go 13 3/4. So we're going to cut that out of another piece of plywood. So on the back here, I measured 1 inch over and I made a notch on each side. That way we know where to line our outside of our shelf to. So now I'm gonna glue this down and hit it with some brad nails from underneath. here we have a really nice, easy to make, simple bookshelf. Now you can definitely leave this plain wood or you can stain it. I would really like to paint the bottom and have a two-tone for the top, stain the top. But Mrs. Boondock really wants the whole thing painted one color. What Mrs. Boondock wants, well, you know the saying. So I'm gonna grab some paint. Let's get this thing colored. Now before we get to painting this, I do want to mention that I went around the entire outside area on the edges and the front right here with this DAP premium wood filler. The reason I use this because it's also a grain filler as well. So do that. And like I said, I learned this trick from Barn Door Boy. You can just snap your fingers and it changes color. Let's see if it works. It works. Thanks, dude. Y'all be sure to go subscribe to Barn Door Boy. Link in the description. So once this dries, I'll be painting it to color match the rest of the furniture in the house. And there we have it, guys. A really nice, solid bookshelf that's gonna last you a very long time. Click right here if you want to check out my last video. We'll see you guys next time on Boondockbuilds.